Hi, I'm Edwin. I'll be glad to have your company for a few minutes as we journey with Jesus through this last momentous week of his life here on earth. We're looking at passages in John's Gospel this week, and today we're in chapter 18, verses 1 to 11, the account of the arrest of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. You may want to read it for yourself. It's one of the most dramatic scenes in the many dramatic scenes in the Gospel. So a motley crew have come to get Jesus. There's a detachment of Roman soldiers, and the word that's used there implies a ridiculous number of them. Maybe they expected a riot, who knows? There were some of the temple police and representatives of the Jewish chief priests and the Pharisees. A band of Jews and Gentiles, somehow representative of a world tainted by evil in its religion and its politics, and needing brute force to achieve its ends. And Judas, the traitor, is standing there with them. Whatever his motives may have been, he has made his choice, but he was standing with the wrong people. And that's a challenge for you and me, isn't it? I remember as a young person being challenged very clearly by the Lord about that. It was as if he said to me, you can't sit on the fence. You're either for me or against me. And I chose that day to follow him. And it's a choice. It's a choice we all have to make. So here is Jesus, vastly outnumbered, but totally in control of the situation. And he asks this evil band who've come against him, who are you looking for? Jesus of Nazareth, they reply. And he responds, I am he. Literally, I am. It's, if you like, the New Testament version of the sacred name by which God revealed himself to Moses in Exodus chapter 3. And there's something about that that made the captors recoil back and stumble over each other. And maybe that's what gave Peter the courage to draw his short sword and wield it clumsily so that he cut off the high priest's servant's right ear. The important thing about this is that all the time, Jesus is the one who's in control of the situation. He's not being overwhelmed. He takes the initiative. He's not overcome. He yields himself up. And he says, if it's me you want, let these men go. And this is what struck me as I thought again about this passage. In the midst of all this drama, it's verse 9 which stood out for me. It says, this happened so that the words he had spoken would be fulfilled. What were these words? Well, they're in the previous chapter. Jesus, speaking to his Father, says, I have not lost one of those you gave me, except the one doomed to destruction. That's Judas. See, Jesus knows that his hour has come. He knows the suffering that lies ahead. He's been struggling about that. But all that he thinks about now is the safety of his followers. And they are eternally secure because the Father himself had already promised that not one of them would be lost. That's recorded back in John chapter 6. And here's the wonderful thing. You and me are in that band of Jesus followers. And this is the Good Shepherd taking care of his sheep, ultimately assuring us of safety and eternal security through his death and resurrection as we trust in him. In his care, we are eternally secure. Hopefully you've been able to see this little bronze beside me. It depicts Isaac Cookson, who was a well-known hill farmer and shepherd in the Westmoreland hills back in the 1950s. We got this, of all places, in a motorway service station. We fell in love with it. And every time we look at it, it reminds us of that lovely verse in Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 12, which says, "The one the Lord loves rests between his shoulders." That's rescue and safety and security. And Jesus says, not one of them will be lost. Thank you, Jesus.